Hey guys, what is up? It is Spooky Noodles, and I am here with a book tag. Wasn't tagged by anybody, but I thought I'd do it anyways because it seemed like a fun tag to do. I got something on my screen. Let me get that off. Um, yeah, I just decided to do this book tag just for fun, and I wrote some answers. So let's read them off, shall we? All right. So question number 1: how many books do you read on average each month? Now, this in the beginning of the month or in the beginning of the year, I was reading like 4 to 5 books a month, but now that's dropped dramatically. Honestly, I read 2 to 3 books a month, but lately it's been hard getting into reading due to my medicine change. I have been having a lot of trouble reading, so finding joy in reading. So I've been trying my best, but yeah, but I'm like 50 something pages into The Stickmen by Edward Lee, and I'm really enjoying that. So, question number 2: how many books are on your TBR list? My to be read list. Too many to count. I have a whole stack of books that I have to read for coming of age, because I want to do a thorough top 10 coming of age list. I have like James Newman's Midnight Rain on there. I have Skullface Boy by Chad Lutsky. I have just a slew of books, too many to even remember. So I have a whole TBR dedicated to coming of age books that I need to get back to. And then I have my TBR for books that I need to review, and then my TBR for books that I just want to read. So I have 3 different stacks of books for books I need to read. I have actually 4 if you conclude my Islands of Horror readathon. I have a few books in that stack, by the way, Islands of Horror readathon ends this month. Well, in the beginning of next month. So get reading. I'm 100 pages into Island by Richard Lehman, and I'm enjoying it a lot. So thought I'd plug that in real quick. Question number 3: how are your bookshelves organized? Well, if you can see what I see, you would know that it's not organized very well. But this is what I wrote. Well, it's a mess right now, but I do have books by the same author all together, so that's that. So by that I mean, like, I have all the Grant Mastertons together, all the Jack Ketchum books together, all the Sean Hudson books together, all the Kathy Koja, Douglas Clegg, Richard Lehman, Stephen King, all those books are together. I have a whole thing for for Ronald Kelly, and yeah. But I don't really have any organization going on. I have, like, on my dresser, I have my top 10 coming of age novels stack. Then I have books I need to read, books I'm selling, books that are autographed, books that I have for Islands of Horror. They're just randomly stacked, honestly. But yeah, but it's like there's a method to my madness. So yeah. Question number 4: which genres do you read in the most? Horror, and horror. Sometimes I mix it up with a little bit of sci-fi horror / sci-fi, like regular sci-fi. But usually it's sci-fi with a little bit of a mix of horror in it. I did recently, well, not recently, like 2 months ago. Was it 2 months ago? Wow, time's flying by. 2 months ago, I read Mike Resnick's Soul Eater, and that book was amazing. And that was sci-fi, strictly sci-fi, no horror related, or in the book. And yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. But mostly what I really read is horror. It's my genre. It's the one I write in, the one I read in, the one I love, the one I enjoy. I even love horror movies, and I don't really like to branch out movie-wise either. So yeah, horror. But to give you a better, sense, subgenres that I love are coming of age novels, coming of age stories, novellas, short stories, whatever. Coming of age is my favorite subgenre. There's something about retelling of a kid's past that is just amazing. I just love hearing that. It's like I get to reminisce what it would be like to be a kid again. As you know, my childhood was I got to live in Michigan till I was 10 years old. Then I moved to California, and after that, it just became a slew of moves. I just moved a lot and didn't get much of a teenage life, but I did get a childhood, and I love reminiscing about my childhood. So reading about people's, like, well, not people's, but fictional childhoods is amazing to me. I enjoy it a lot because my childhood was fun, and I just loved my childhood. All the way up till I was like 10 or 11 years old. Then things got a little messy, but yeah, I just love coming of age, especially coming of age horror, which I have a whole stack of, like I said before, a whole stack of things like Jedi Summer by John Bowden. I'm trying to think of some books that I have there. Douglas Clegg's Neverland. The stack's like right there. So, Pressure by Jeff Strand. I'm not sure if that's a fully a coming of age novel or not. I don't know. David Silva's Come 13 or something like that. Thomas Tryon's Night of the Moonbow, and just the list goes on and on. So yeah. Question number 5: which genres do you own the most of? So that's easy. Horror. I own a whole bookshelf of horror. Then I own a lot of books on my dresser that are horror, and then, like, way off over there on the side, I have a little bit of a stack of science fiction books that I've been meaning to read. I want to read more science fiction because my plan is to one day write a science fiction horror book, which I already started. It's 2 chapters long, and I actually wrote like 10 chapters, but I deleted 8 of them because they were no good. But the first 2 chapters are amazing, so I'm trying to get something out of them. I even tried to get another author to co-write it with me, but they didn't have any interest, so it's just me writing this story, and it's taken a while. I'm taking a break from it right now, too. I'm currently writing Triad. Triad is going well so far. I just started writing a little bit today, and yeah, but I did finish Take Me From Here, which is kind of like a Jack Ketchum-y type of feel to it. There's no supernatural elements to it or anything like that. It's just basic, horror, and people just being terrible people, and yeah. I should have that novella ready by the end of the year. I need to do some self-edits, then I'm gonna send it to a publisher, then they'll do their own edits, if they decide to pick it up. If they don't pick it up, then I'll self-publish it again. I've self-published 1 book so far. I'm going to be self-publishing my 2nd book soon, and I'm hoping to get my novella picked up by a publisher. I'm not sure if it's good enough, but I hope it is. And yeah. I do fear that the first chapter of my book, or my novella, I feel like it's too Richard Lehman-y, if you know what I mean. Like, it's a little... I don't usually write like Richard Lehman, like, at all. I'm not that type of writer, but I just kind of, like, summoned my inner Richard Lehman and wrote this really silly sexual scene, and I just feel silly for writing it, but at the same time I feel gross, I feel disgusting. I didn't like writing that scene very much, and you'll know what I'm talking about once the book's released, and if you decide to read it. If I self-publish it, I'm going to probably sell it for cheap, just like my first book. It will probably be sold at $8.99, and then it'll be 99 cents for a Kindle. It's only 80-something pages long, like 83 pages long. And then you have the about the author page and stuff like that. But other than that, it's a short book. So, yeah. I kind of went off a little tangent there, so I apologize. This isn't a reading vlog. This is a book tag, so I apologize. Question number 6. Which is your preferred form of reading? So, here we go. I love paperbacks. I love paperbacks. But lately I have been digging ebooks because of how cheap they are. So get this. I could have either bought the book at $15 or bought the book for $4 on ebook. So that's why I like ebook a lot. I have Kindle on my laptop and Kindle on my phone. When I go to NetGalley and I ask for Kindle or for a book, they always give me an ebook. So I never get physical books, which stinks, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I love paperbacks. I love the smell of them, the feel of them. There's something about holding the story in your hands that I just like. But at the same time, ebooks are much cheaper. Audiobooks are great too because you get to listen to them, but they're very expensive audiobooks. So yeah. Oh boy, it looks like my cover designer and my friend on Facebook are going at it again. I hate politics, guys. I absolutely hate politics. But anyways, I vowed not to talk about politics anymore. I just won't do it. But anyways, I will talk about like stuff that needs to be talked about, but I won't talk about like Trump anymore because it just frustrates people. So I'm done. I'm done with that stuff, man. Anyways, we were just on question number 6, right? Yeah, I like ebooks. They're cheap, and I have a huge thing of them. I'm trying not to buy any more books. If a book comes around that I really need, then I'm going to buy it. But other than that, I'm saving my money. There's a hat that I really want, and I'm saving up for that. All the proceeds go to Black Lives Matter. So I will feel really great when I buy this hat. So it says freedom, and then it has the logo for Black Lives Matter. And then on the back, I think it says Black Lives Matter. I am not sure, but I only saw the front of it. But I believe it says Black Lives Matter on the back. I'm not sure, but I just really want that hat, or like really badly want that hat, and all the proceeds go to a good cause. So you know, why not? So anyways, let's go to question number 7. So question number 7: who is your most owned author? So this is hard. This is like really hard. And now that I'm looking at it, it could be a mix of different authors. So I have a lot of Graham Masterton, a lot of Sean Hudson. I have a lot of Richard Lehman, Stephen King, Robert R. McCammon, Ronald Kelly. So I have a bunch of books by different authors. I don't know which one I have the most of. If I were to guess, at one point it was Richard Lehman because I owned all of his books, but then I got rid of the ones I didn't think I'd like, and then I kept the ones that I think I like, or at least people talk about. I started collecting Sean Hudson. I plan on doing a whole read-through of him. I also have a few Edward Lee books. Actually, that's what I'm reading right now. I'm reading Stickmen by Edward Lee. So far, it's really actually pretty good. I just wish he'd stop introducing characters. Like, in the beginning of the book, we introduced a character called Emery. And then we never got to hear about Emery ever again. Which, I'm starting to think maybe Emery is actually Garrett. Because I feel like he messed up somehow. Or not Emery. What am I talking about? Oh, this whole time I thought... I'm an idiot. Alright, never mind, guys. Emery was the soldier in the beginning of the book. Garrett has been the guy that I've been thinking about this whole time. Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. Anyways, yeah, I own a lot of books by certain authors. I have like five Jack Ketchum books, and I still don't own The Girl Next Door, which I need to get one day, but I'm also kind of scared to get it because that book terrifies me. The movie terrified me, so the book is obviously going to terrify me. But I own I can't see the book from here, but I own a few Jack Ketchums. Off Season, Offspring, Red, Joyride, The Lost, Cover, and then there's one more, but I can't read it from here. There's something blocking it. So yeah, I don't know who I own the most of, but I own a lot of authors. So Number 8, describe your favorite writing style. So I'm not really great at this because I haven't really discovered what a writing style really means. I can only tell you what I personally dig when I see writing. People like the fancy, some people like fancy, like my friend, I think Edward Lorne, he likes it when people describe the setting, and he likes it when there's all these fancy words in there. He just likes, beautifully written books, but that's not me. So this is what I wrote down. I like authors who don't go in depth and focus too much on the setting, and give great character dialogue and descriptions. I also have been digging the writing style of the great Andre Duza as of late. Check him out. He, does a lot, like WZMB, was all like written like in a script type format, and it was really, really cool. I liked it a lot. So his writing style is very unique, and I liked it a lot. But that's just to give you a sense of what I like. I don't like it when people focus too much about the weather. It's like, I get it. It was damn cold or damn hot. I don't freaking care. Don't go into detail about each snowflake, how it pedaled down to the ground and soothed the character as the beautiful shapes destroyed against the... I don't care. Like, just say it was cold. I don't need all these fancy, like the weather, the wind blew as if it caressed her hair, and I just don't care about that. The setting is cold. It was snowing. I don't need to know everything. I don't need to know about how your footprints were absorbed into the snow and then 2 minutes later covered. I don't need to know a lot of these things. It's just nonsense. I can't stand it when people go too in depth over the setting. That's just me personally, of course. I don't care too much about settings. Of course I need to know where you are, of course. Like, I personally I'm not really good at settings myself, so maybe that's part of it. But I just don't like it. I don't dig it when people go and talk 5 pages about the setting. There was one book I had to put down because they talked about the setting for 5 pages, and I could not get into it. Like, I'm like, oh my god, I don't care. It was cold. Okay, get on with the story. Introduce a character. Do something. I was yelling at the book like, do something, and it never happened. So I just don't like when people go into detail, and going into detail is one thing, but going into like the depth of the ocean over these things, like I just don't like it when people are going so far to describe something so little. It's like, it doesn't need to be described to that. You're beating a dead horse at that point. I get it. It was cold, I don't know. That's just a little tangent I have. And I like the character descriptions, getting an understanding of what the character is supposed to look like. And then I like dialogue. Dialogue is my favorite thing about books. When a book has good dialogue, funny dialogue, I enjoy it a lot. Like Flashpoint. Probably not the best plot, but it had great dialogue, so I loved it for that reason, but that's just me. So number 9, which literary device do you like and dislike? So I don't know what this means. I have no idea what this question means. Like, device, like, do you mean like plot device, or do you mean like electronic device? Because this could mean 2 different things. I don't know what it meant, so I just said I could read or listen to anything. It will make me happy, but I don't really quite get this question. I'm sure it's not talking about what device I'm reading on. I'm sure it's talking about something else, but I'm not sure what the question would mean anyways, so I'm just gonna skip number 9. Number 10. Which character archetypes do you like best? So again, didn't really know what this question meant. I'm a writer and I don't get these questions, so that's on me. I need to learn more. But this is the best answer I could give to this question. I should have looked it up, but I decided not to. My answer was, my favorite types of characters are kids, since my favorite subgenre is coming of age. I hope that answers the question. If it doesn't, I apologize. Again, did not know how to answer that question. So now we're going on to the next thing, and this is kind of hilarious because we just got done with telling how much I hate how people go in depth about settings. I don't care that much about the setting, but now it's asking me, what is your number 11? What is your favorite book setting? So really, in the end, it doesn't matter where the book's setting is taking place. As long as it's a good story, I'm going to like it. So like one story was in like the 1950s, and it was about a kid battling against a monster. He had to go to Fear County in order. This is Fear, by the way, by Ronald Kelly. He had to go to Fear County in order to talk to the magic woman. The magic woman gave him stuff to help his father, his mother, or well, grandmother, and to fight the monster. So he does 2 out of 3 of those things, and yeah, it was amazing. I love that book. It's my favorite coming of age book and my favorite book of all time so far. But Andre Duza's book, WZMB, almost gave it a run for its money. But I would say WZMB is probably my 3rd favorite book of all time right now. I would have to actually write down my favorite books and tell you personally what they were. I don't know what they are at the moment, but I will give you a list someday. But yeah, book setting, what did I write? I like stories that take place in the past, like a retelling of somebody's past, but that doesn't really answer the question. Like I was explaining how I like the Fear County that happened in like the 50s or late 40s, and in that rural town. And then I like the James White's book, Skins, where it takes place in what was it, Chicago in 1980s. I forget what city it was, but it takes place in a city and like a grotto, and people are beating each other up. So the setting doesn't really matter to me, as long as the story is really well told. I'm not setting driven, I could care less where the book takes place. For me, if a book takes place in Michigan, I'm buying it, because I love when books take place in Michigan. I feel like I'm actually living the book because I live in Michigan. But other than that, I don't really buy a book for its setting. I don't really care about the setting of a book. So as long as the story is well told, I will read it. So number 12, what are your favorite romantic tropes? Ugh. I said yuck. I don't like romance. I just don't like romance. Screw romance. I just get it out of here. Don't put it in my book. Don't put it in my books. Just leave. I don't like romance. Blech. So that is I didn't even tell you what book tag this was. This book tag is called the Info Dump book tag. I kind of went on tangents, so I apologize about that. Behind me is Einstein. He's just chilling there. Yeah. Not much really to tell other than this has been my book tag. I did not realize that the camera was so... I should have kind of tilted it down so you get more of my face. I'm sorry about that. This whole video's screwed. No, I'm still gonna post it. But I hope you guys are enjoying your day. It's been a good day today. I helped out around the house a lot. Earned $20. It was nice. But got some reading done too. I read about 20 pages I think today. I'm not sure how many pages I read, but I read a good amount. And like I said, I'm reading The Stickmen by Edward Lee. I'm also reading 2 other books. 3 other books. But I'm kind of juggling them all at the moment. Like I'm on chapter 6 of Michelle Renee Lane's Invisible Chains. I'm on like hour 4, which is like chapter 4 of Gerald Rice's Flesh Bags. Then I'm on chapter, 6? No, 4, right? Yeah, I'm on chapter 4, page 54 of Stickmen by Edward Lee, and then I'm on page like 108 for Richard Lehman's Island. And I haven't really touched that book, but I want to mention it because I really want to get back into it soon. I want to finish one Island book, themed horror book, by the end of the month. And that one was my chosen one. Of course, I chose the longest freaking book to do for this challenge, so I'm an idiot. But anyways, yeah, I'm enjoying The Stickmen by Edward Lee. I kind of tried to make it my mission to read more black horror authors. So Invisible Chains by Michelle Renee Lane is my first book of the month by a black a horror author. And then I'm gonna probably read another Andre Duza book because the man can write, and the man can write well, like holy crap. And I'm thinking about reading Technicolor Terrorists and Don't Fuck with the Colors. Those two books I really want to read. I feel like they're both technically similar in a way. So I'm going to read Technicolor Terrorists first, and then Don't Fuck with the Colored second. And then maybe another Andre Duza book. I'm not sure. It depends on how long this month is. My birthday's next month, so I got a lot of things I want to do next. I hope tickets are still available for the Oddity Show, and I hope the book fair in Detroit's still going on. I hope the Oddity Show's still going on as well. I really want to go to those events. I've been dying all year long to go to these events, and then the pandemic came and ruined everything, except I'm not sure if it ruined everything just yet. They haven't announced the cancellation of these two events, so I'm not sure if it's over with or if they're gonna continue with it. I'm not sure. I would love for the book fair to still happen, and the Oddity Show would be cool to go to too. But yeah, my birthday's next month, July 3rd, if you didn't know. I'm a day before July 4th. That's why everyone forgets about my birthday. It's because it's right next to a holiday that everyone likes to celebrate. They would rather do, wild kid things rather than hang out with me. That's usually how it goes. When I make the slightest amount of friends, they would rather go and shoot off fireworks and do gang kid things. They don't really want to hang out with me during the July 4th week or weekend or whatever. But that's okay. I don't really have any friends now. I just kind of have me and my family. So we'll see how that works. I'm trying to make more friends, but it's really hard. There's this writing community for NaNoWriMo, and they get together in Detroit a lot. And I thought about going to one of these events and meeting some writers and maybe making some writing friends. But the antisocial part of me is like, nah, you don't need to make author friends. Just stay secluded and keep to yourself and be sad all the time. So, yeah. But I'm trying to push myself to do more things. It's really hard though when you don't have a car and you don't have a license and you don't have the money for Uber. You know what I'm saying? It's really hard to get around when you can't get around. When you don't have the means or the money to get around. So, yeah. But that's some things that I want to do on my birthday. I'm hoping to release a book on my birthday. And if you guys want, you guys could buy a book as a birthday present to me, I'm thinking about either releasing my novella or my second short story collection. It just kind of depends on which one I decide first. I've been waiting forever for my my editor. I think she's starting to take advantage of me at this point, and it's kind of sad. I told her to give me, I think I told her like 1 or 2 weeks ago to give me any information when you start or whatever. She said she would, and then she never did. I paid her already for it, so I hope that she does it. I'm starting to get a little ticked off, but I'm not gonna be mean about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I'm more agitated than normal right now with my medicine being changed. Um, I just I just don't want to start any arguments at the moment. Um, Especially with a nice editor. She's usually nice. But this whole kind of not editing my stuff because I keep saying that you can take your time, you know? It's like you can take your time, but come on, don't completely use me. I already paid you like $30, you know? And I know she doesn't charge that much, but that's because she, you know, will get it done when she gets it done type thing. Um so I'm kind of trying to find a new editor, and it's kind of pricey when I start looking elsewhere. I think I might have found one, but I'm not sure about her. I mean, she sent me a sample, and the sample was really well written, but I'd have to pay her a lot of money to do it. So yeah, that's why I want to find a publisher for my novella. I'm gonna obviously self-edit it, but I'm going to send it to a publisher, and then they'll get editors to edit it. That's how it works, I believe. And I'm not sure if my novella is good enough for a publisher, but I'm really trying. It's my first novella, so give me a break. So, yeah, I'm probably gonna release my short story collection now that I think about it. I'm probably gonna release my short story collection on my birthday. Yeah, it's Gray Matter 2, and yeah, it has stories like the Chuea Centipede. It has a story called The Burden of Knowledge. It has a story called Roadkill. Then it has a story called They Emerged from the Woods. Then there's the Lancer Witch. A lot of the stories, huh? And then there's the last story of the whole collection, which rounds it all out, which I'm trying to remember. I think it's The Thing in the Ward. I think that's what it was called. That one actually is okay. I'm not gonna lie, I worked really hard on that one, and I need to get it edited. So right now she edited the Chuea Centipede, and now she needs to edit the Burden of Knowledge. And if it takes any longer, I can't work with her again because I need something faster. I mean, I don't need it like right away, but like I don't need it in like 3 days. I don't want people to rush, you know, and mess up. But at the same time, I want it at a servable time, a certain time, because I want to release it at a certain date. So yeah. So I'm gonna let her do her thing, and eventually she'll get back to me about the edit, and maybe I'll search for a new editor. I think I might have found one, but she does charge like, you know, $4 per page, and that kind of over, you know, 81 pages kind of adds up. So yeah, but I think she charges by word count. I'm not sure, but I think like the estimate was like $4 per page. I don't remember, but yeah, I'm hoping to release that on my birthday, Gray Matter 2. I have it's packed with longer stories. Like if you like the first collection, the second collection is gonna be a little different. In fact, I'm not sure if people will like the second one as much as the first one. The second one has stories like Chuea Centipede, which I worked really hard on, but at the same time, I don't think it's that great. That being said, it's good enough for the collection, so we'll see. Then we have The Burden of Knowledge, which I actually think is pretty good. Then The Thing in the Ward, I worked really hard on. It took a lot out of me, and I think it's worth the read, so you guys should check it out. Then the first 3 stories are just some short stories, just like the first collection. They're really short, and in fact, I was thinking about taking them out altogether, but I don't know. They're really short stories, but the longer ones are much better. And yeah, I might even add this one story called Quarantine Quentin. I'm still trying to figure that one out. I'm either gonna sell it on its own for 99 cents, or I'm gonna throw it into the collection. I'm not sure yet. I have to reread it and see if it's any good. It's really stupid, honestly. I might not throw it in the collection, but if I do, I do. But yeah, this has been a book tag for the info dump book tag. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's a really long video. It's gonna take forever to post, but yeah, I said what I had to say. So, yeah. I would give you a library tour, but it's a mess over there. I have boxes piled up onto each other. There's dresser drawers on top of each other. It's just a mess over there. So I'm not gonna show you my library. But one day I will. It's not much of a library. It's you've kind of already seen it in my older films or videos, I should say, where I used to film right in front of my bookshelf. So yeah, I'm getting a new bookshelf soon. So I'm very excited about that. Until then, you know, yeah. So hope you guys are enjoying your day. I hope you guys are having a good day and a spooky night. And I think that's all I have to say. I hope to have a book review done in like 2 weeks, because that's how long it usually takes for me to read a book. I just started The Stickmen by Edward Lee, so I'm expecting to finish it in 2 weeks. And then I will do a review on it. Well, Chester will do a review on it. And this one's Aliens, so I already have like a cool idea for the thumbnail, so yeah, it should be fun. But as always, I hope you guys have a great day. Peace out.